Admiral Chen's voice returned, calm and professional. Your intelligence was 17 years out of date. We've been quite busy since you began your little war. The human fleet moved with an eerie coordination, each ship performing maneuvers that violated everything Zixtal understood about physics. They didn't bank or turn like conventional spacecraft, they simply changed direction, as if inertia was a suggestion rather than a law. More energy beams lashed out, each one finding its mark with impossible accuracy. Hegemony vessels that had survived countless battles simply ceased to exist, their matter converted to expanding clouds of plasma. "Admiral," came another voice over the human channel mail, with traces of an accent Zixtal's database, identified as Russian. "The Confederation fleet is signaling their appreciation for our intervention. They're requesting coordinates for joint operations." "Understood, General Petrov." "Patch them through to tactical." Zixtal felt her blood chill as she realized the implications. The humans weren't just entering the war, they were coordinating with the rebels. In a matter of minutes, they had shifted the balance of power that had remained stable for over a decade. "All units, emergency hyperspace withdrawal," she commanded, but even as the order went out, she knew it was too late. The human ships were already moving to intercept escape vectors with that same impossible speed. Admiral Chen's voice filled the bridge one final time. "Commander Zixtal, I believe you were saying something about sparing our world? I'm afraid we must respectfully decline your generous offer. Earth has chosen a side in this conflict, and I assure you we didn't choose yours." The last thing Zixtal saw, before her flagship's power core breached, was a sight that would haunt her final moments. Dozens of human vessels emerging from hyperspace throughout the system, each one bristling with weapons that shouldn't exist, crewed by a species that had somehow leaped from chemical rockets to technologies that surpassed even the hegemony's finest achievements. Light years away, in the hidden strongholds of the Confederation, rebel commanders watched their tactical displays in awe, as red markers representing hegemony forces winked out of existence across multiple star systems. The humans had arrived late to the war, but they had brought with them technologies born from 17 years of desperate innovation, and the fury of a species that had watched their galaxy burn while they struggled to reach the stars. Earth had indeed arrived late to the war, but they had not arrived quietly. Dr. Ketara adjusted her translation matrix for the 15th time that morning, staring at the human warning label with growing confusion. The red text on the yellow background seemed innocuous enough, yet the humans had plastered it across everything from their food storage facilities to their children's recreational areas. EXTREALYDANGEROUSDAPPROC to her research partner. "Tell me again why we're taking human safety protocols seriously." Vexim, a tall crystalline being from the Andorian collective, chimed softly, his species equivalent of a chuckle. "The Galactic Council insists we follow local customs during our cultural exchange. Apparently, humans are quite particular about their warning systems." They stood outside a human facility that their liaison, Dr. Martinez, had described as a standard research laboratory. The building looked unremarkable, simple concrete and steel construction, with no obvious signs of dangerous technology. Yet every door, window and access point bore the same warning in multiple human languages. Dr. Martinez mentioned this facility studies microbiology, Kethara noted, consulting her datapad. "Our scans detect no radiation, no exotic matter, no energy weapons." What could possibly require such extreme caution? Their curiosity had been building for weeks. Since arriving on Earth, they had encountered the ubiquitous warning labels on everything from household cleaning products to playground equipment. The humans seemed to mark things as dangerous, that posed no threat to any civilized species they knew. What manner of fragile creatures were these humans that they feared such mundane items? Perhaps, Vexim suggested, their warnings are simply overcautious. Many primitive species develop elaborate safety rituals to compensate for their technological limitations. Kethara nodded. Her own species, the Zephyrians, had evolved on a world of crystalline storms and methane seas. They routinely handled substances that would dissolve most organic matter. The idea that humans could encounter anything truly dangerous in such a sterile-looking facility seemed absurd. Dr. Martinez appeared around the corner, his pale face flushed with what their database identified as exertion or stress. "Doctors, I'm so sorry I'm late. There was an incident at Lab 7 that required—" "An incident?" Kethara interrupted. "Nothing serious, I hope. Our scans detected no explosions or energy discharges." Dr. Martinez paused, giving them both a peculiar look. No explosions. Just a small containment breach. We had to implement Protocol Delta 7. Containment breach. Vexim's crystal matrix flickered with interest. What manner of dangerous substance escaped? "Oh, nothing too serious," Martinez replied, with what their cultural database labeled a reassuring smile. "Just a modified strain of Clostridium botulinum. We contained it within 40 minutes. Kethara consulted her datapad, pulling up biological records. Botulinum, a protein-based toxin. Molecular weight, approximately 150 kilodaltons. She paused, double-checking the figures. "Dr. Martinez, this substance appears to be merely a large organic molecule. Surely your safety protocols are excessive for such a simple compound." Dr. Martinez's smile faltered. "Simple? Doctors, botulinum toxin is one of the most lethal substances known to biological life. A few nanograms can kill an adult human. A single gram could theoretically eliminate 1 million people." The alien researchers exchanged glances. Kethara's translator matrix recalibrated, certain it had made an error. "You're suggesting that a quantity of this substance, smaller than a grain of sand, could terminate human existence?" "Not just humans," Martinez said quietly. "Most carbon-based life forms. It's why we have such strict containment protocols." Vexim's crystalline structure began to resonate with alarm. "Dr. Martinez, if I may ask, what other substances does your species routinely work with that carry such lethality ratings?" Martinez looked uncomfortable. "Well, there's ricin, tetrodotoxin, various prion diseases, engineered retroviruses, weaponized anthrax." He counted on his fingers. "Oh, and the synthetic biology lab down the hall is working with a modified version of the 1918 influenza virus." "The 1918 influenza," Kethara whispered, her database pulling up historical records. "The pandemic that killed 50 million humans?" "That's the one," Martinez confirmed. "We're trying to understand its structure to prevent future outbreaks. Very routine work, really."